Okay, so I'm Marvin Cummings, and this is the second part of the IMMC self-discovery. This here is the self-discovery challenge. This is the toolkit. So what I'm going to do is basically just walk you through the toolkit that I just completed. All right, it's part of my self-discovery challenge. Okay, let's see. All right, so let me read the disclaimer again. The materials provided in this presentation and any comments or information provided by the presenter, this is me, for instructional mentoring purposes only. Therefore, nothing conveyed, including exercises and definitions, should be considered as legal, accredited, professional, or coaching advice. Please seek your own coach or mentor with specific questions you may have related to any information you feel warranting a professional coaching opinion. I don't know why I say warranting, but I have warrants written there. Okay. Here's a table of contents. In the table of contents, you will see a list of the 4 or 5 exercises that are included in this toolkit. Okay. My hope is that you complete each one to the best of your abilities, and for the purpose of being able to come back maybe 3 months, 6 months from now to to assess, right, any changes that have occurred since you initially created this. So, that's what you should always be thinking about as you work through these challenges, is that, am I thinking the way 3 months from now that I was thinking today? Because the whole point behind these challenges is to inspire growth, right? We want to grow. We don't want to continue to remain to be the same person. So this is the first of many tools that I plan on releasing that will help you to give you something to kind of like look back on later on as we work towards change. All right, so let me get my water. Introduction, Self-Discovery Toolkit. This is a self-help coaching strategy to identify life values. As stated before, this is presented by the iMarket network. This is me, my marketing services company. So let's get right to it, okay? The first exercise you're going to be presented with is the profile, right? What you want to do is basically start by, providing a short description of yourself, right? And then you also want to follow through on the questionnaire. And sorry, hold on for a second here. I don't know why I did that. Yeah, follow through on the questionnaire to turkey. Yeah, follow through on the questionnaire. These are very simple questions, kind of straightforward. Your favorite social networks, long-term, short-term goals. I myself, my circumstances are a little different at the moment. I'm what I call a homeless entrepreneur. So for me, I have a lot of challenges that I'm working through, and so, but for the most part, everything that I've added here is consistent. I'm disease free. I've yet to catch COVID, even though my throat is cracking. It may seem like I have it, but I don't. I got that on there. I have some ideas that have been successful. I have some that have failed. We all should. If you haven't failed at anything, then you're doing something wrong. That next exercise you have to complete is called the self-discovery exercise. And in this one, I added 10 questions, right? 10 questions to kind of give you an idea of, some things you should ask yourself. All right. Now, mind you, I'm not a coach. I'm not a certified coach. I'm just a guy with an idea, right? I'm just a guy who wants to market coaching. And one of the ways that I want to market coaching is I have to market it through these type of exercises, because what I basically want to do is just kind of make self-coaching mainstream, right? We have to be able to ask ourselves questions. We have to be able to investigate ourselves, right? And that's a part of what I wrote in the reinterpretation, So the only way that you're going to be able to investigate yourself is you have to come up with questions that actually force you to kind of like challenge your biases and, you know, help you understand, do you really like how you live, and do you know why you're thinking this way? So some of these questions, what I would suggest you do when you get this, change these questions around. You know, if you think, you know, your experiences can bring about a completely different set of questions, you should do that, because again, you're going to take this, you're going to rebrand it, and then you're going to actually make it your product. So you're going to rename this to your own toolkit, and you're going to provide your own questions, and this is going to be a product that you're going to eventually turn around and present to those in your circle or those who you're trying to market to. So you should be able to answer these questions, and then the questions you come up with when you pass this on, they should be able to answer, or they will then modify based on their experiences. Okay. So for me, you know, I've got some strengths, and I'm always eager to learn. Even in my circumstances, I still, you know, I commit to learning. What have you changed? What have you not changed? What do you get complimented on the most? Right? You know, look at me. I look like somebody. Somebody always tell me I look like somebody. So, you know, that's what you're gonna do with this exercise. Okay, the self-discovery. Do you know your strengths? Okay. Now let me see, what's the next one? Gratitude. Oops, hold up. Yeah, gratitude. This is a common coaching exercise out there. Basically what it does is it gets you to list 5 things you're grateful for. And then what I did was I took it a step further, and I just basically added 2 questions to ask to get you to answer, you know, what is it that you're most grateful for, and what is that you're least grateful for, right? So, yeah, that's kind of straightforward. Now this one, the Wheel of Life, this is also a common coaching exercise as well. Basically, you use this to actually identify certain characters or traits or characteristics that you live by, right? Or that you're motivated by, and then you assess how you're currently impacted by that. I mean, what type of balance are you in balance with these particular traits that you claim to identify with? And for me, I mean, like number 1, being homeless, I don't have a home, so you know, that's a 0 for me. But when it comes to things like mental wellness, health and wellness, I'm okay, because you know, in spite of those circumstances, I'm still working towards I'm using my energy to work towards the things that are actually going to bring me out of this situation. So I'm not distraught, you know, a little embarrassed, but you know, because, you know, I'm inconvenienced, but I'm not distraught. So, and from a health perspective, you know, I'm still a little, I do a little to try to stay healthy and in shape. So I try to keep those 2 at the top. You know, relationships, spirituality, personal growth, all that stuff is going to suffer. Your finances, that stuff is going to suffer. Again, you're going to change these, and you're going to come up with your own. But when it comes to trying to configure the Wheel of Life, just go, you know, you're in PowerPoint, I'm sorry. So just go to shapes. And when you're in shapes, you can either click the straight line, or you can use the curve to kind of like get your wheel to configure your wheel. Okay, so that's not a huge challenge, but that's something you want to do, because you want the wheel to reflect those the score, right? And you want to add that score into your diagram here. Okay, I'm sorry, into your what the hell is this? Yeah, to your wheel. I'm sorry. Okay, so what's next? Life values. Basically, what you want to do here is you just want to come up with, like for me, what I did, I chose to use those same characters, those same traits that I used in my Wheel of Life. And for each trait, I identified 5 I guess you would call them values that are associated with each trait. Okay, so once you come up with your 8 or 5, it doesn't matter. You can come up with 8 or however many you want. You want to go ahead and just list them for each one of your traits. Okay, and what I've done under the bottom here is I've given you some words to choose from, and if these aren't to your liking, just go ahead and add words. Okay, add words and then save this again. You're going to rebrand this as your own product. Tolerations. What are you putting up with? Yeah, man. So I stayed true, but you can come up with your own things that you're tolerating right now. You know, when it comes to being homeless, you know, I have a lack of personal space, privacy, fear and insecurity, right? Mental wellness, you know, you're struggling to stay motivated. Nature, you're worrying about COVID. Being outside, being around people, health and wellness, you know, you have to maintain a fitness regimen. So a lot of that kind of go hand in hand with, these are some things that I'm tolerating right now. All right. And again, you're going to come up with your own traits and, you know, questions, things that you're tolerating. All right. Cognitive distortion, language, right? Language that we use to, communicate, how we communicate, the language we use, why we communicate what we're doing. You know, we generalize, we've been just totally dismissive or, placing blame. These are some of the ones I came up with. This exercise is also a common coaching exercise. So I didn't come up with anything new. All I've done is just basically listed, I'm impacted by a lot of this. My language. All right. And you're going to do the same thing as well. Life satisfaction. Basically, this is a closing exercise to determine how satisfied with your life at this moment. Don't forget now, you're going to use this as a the basis, right? You're going to come back to this 3 months from now, 6 months from now, and say, man, what was I thinking about back then? You see what I'm saying? Now, let's go to the wrap up. These are your next steps. Okay. These are very specific steps. All right. Very specific steps. Now hold on for 1 second. Okay. So in this step, let me tell you what we're going to do. The next steps. Here's what you're eventually going to end up going to. Once you save this item, this toolkit, you're going to rebrand it. Okay. And then you're going to make it your own product. All right, that's the first step. You have a self-discovery step. What I want to do next is get you to head over to my new website called newundertakings.com. Okay, New Undertakings is a membership platform that I've created. It's a coaching strategy though. It's based around a coaching strategy, and I may have to make a second video for this. But what you're going to end up doing, you're going to 13 minutes. I'm going to have to stop here. Yeah, let me stop this and we're going to make a second video. All right. Be right back.